This program is sponsored by Grubbs Nissan, where our brand is honesty.
Hello, this is Abraham with Model Connection, and we have Miss Katie Marie. In this series, we're going to talk about photography and what models experience, and she's going to let you in on a little bit of her experience.
Hi, I'm Katie. Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. How long have you been modeling for?
I have been modeling since I was 12, so about 11 years, almost 12 years. Yeah.
That's very nice. And when you get with a photographer, what are a few things you look for?
I look for professionalism. I look for someone that has at least a generalized idea of what they want, whether that be me bring my own wardrobe or they provide the wardrobe for me. I look for any red flags. So that can be an array of different things, honestly. It, for me, depends very much on how they speak to me. Are they speaking to me respectfully? Are they respecting what I do, my time, all of those different things. If I get too much pushback from a photographer, so like I send over my rates and my limits of what I will and will not do. If they challenge that too much, like I don't mind negotiating on my rates because I want to respect someone else's budget. But if they give me too much pushback, or I've had photographers say, well, I'm better than you, or things like that. And that's not, you reached out to me, you're asking me to do a job. Respect the fact that I am providing a service and doing a job for you. That's one of the main things that I look for. I don't have too many issues with that, but there are some photographers out there that, or some companies that don't respect what a model does as a job. It's a full-time job for me. It may be a part-time job for other people, but for me it's full-time, and that includes my nutrition, that includes my hair, my skin, my makeup, going to the gym every day, the outfits that I have to buy. It's expensive. It's an expensive job to have.
Absolutely. And there's a plethora of models nowadays. It's like every girl wants to model. But how do you get your name out there to have photographers reach out to you?
So I think for me, one of the biggest things was I spent several years only doing trade work so that I could build a reputation for myself. And having that reputation and word of mouth of, yes, I worked with her, she was great, she was professional, she was on time, she knew what she was doing, I didn't have to pose her, she knew her body, her angles, all of those things go into making a good model and a real model, frankly. Because there are a lot of girls that, oh, I'm pretty, I'm gonna model. That's great, but you have to put in the work still. You can't expect someone to pay you just because you're pretty. Right. I think that's unfair to those of us that have put in a lot of time and effort to build a skill set. And so getting the photographers to reach out to you, again, word of mouth, having a good reputation. On top of that, building your social media, unfortunately, is very important. It sucks, but depending on which way you want to go, whether you do freelance or agency work, I do everything freelance, so my social media is very important. Posting every day, posting behind the scenes that I am working, that I'm active in what I do, as well as using different platforms like Model Mayhem. That's the main one I use, that, and then just Instagram. There's a few others out there that I haven't really played around with, but there's several platforms that you can use to promote yourself more.
Very nice. Can you think of the worst experience you had with a photographer off the top of your head?
Yeah. Yes, I can. So I do travel modeling. So that entails either I travel to an area for a few days and I book with photographers during that time, or a photographer reaches out to me, they have concept ideas and they want to fly me out and hire me. Now I require that my rates are paid, travel and lodging be paid as well. I don't require you to pay for my food or anything else or any fun activities or anything like that. Just the basic necessities, because you're asking me to come to you to do a job. So within that, I had a photographer reach out to me, and he wanted to do a trip to Miami, and he was gonna pay for everything. We're both in Texas, and he was like, well, are you okay with 1 room and 2 beds? And I'm like, yeah, it's totally fine. I can change in the restroom, no big deal. He seemed legit. I vetted him. Everyone that I spoke to that had worked with him said that he was fine, he was cool, no problems, done deal. I was like, okay. Get there, everything's fine. We end up spending like every day together, even in our free time, which I was fine with. There's nothing weird. And then he started asking me questions like, what kind of guys are you into? Like, what turns you on? And me personally, I was like, I'm not really picky, just trying to go over the question and ignore it. Continued kind of like that. Next day is my last day there. My flight is later on that day. Him and I are supposed to shoot in the morning. And I wake up to him getting in my bed. And I was like, this is uncomfortable. What are you doing? And the night before, he had this lady came up to us and was like, oh, you guys are a cute couple. And I was like, haha, thanks. I'm a very nonchalant person, so I just ignored it. I don't want to ruin her fantasy of the fact that we're a couple, because we're not. He knows that, I know that. Well, he took that and ran with it and decided that whenever he got up to leave, because he was going to like a business thing, I was going in for like a side hug situation, and he decided to turn around and like kiss me. And I was like, okay, and he like ran away. So I was like, okay, bye. I don't know what to do about this. And so I called my best friend, I texted her, and I was like, this is super weird. Like, okay, leave tomorrow, maybe it'll be okay. No, wake up in the morning, he's getting my bed, and then he leaves, and I'm about to change. I turn around, and I just happen to see this little tiny nanny cam pointed directly at my bed. And I was like, oh, this is super uncomfortable. So I went downstairs, and I kind of told the front desk lady, hey, I'm gonna confront this guy. I don't really know him. This is what's happening. Well, she told security. Security called the cops. We get a knock at the door after he gets called downstairs by the front desk saying something's wrong with his card. Long story short, I was escorted out of the hotel and to the airport by the police to make sure that I was safe. So there was an open investigation. I never heard anything back, probably because it was with what I do, since I do a wide range of work, and I do some art nude. I think it would be, I don't think they saw it worth their time to fight the case, because they're like, oh, well, she does nude work. So, I think they could fight more against me than him. But at the end of the day, recording someone without their permission is illegal. Don't do it.
Yeah,
So,
there's a very fine line between professionalism, especially in this business.
right. So essentially, make sure you have someone's consent. Don't be a weirdo. No one likes that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my
absolutely.
worst experience.
Yeah.
So can you ask her to rate me today, please?
To rate you?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
You did a photo shoot with Mr. Johnny today. Could you give him a rating 1 to 5? How was your experience?
I would say 5. Johnny was great. He already knew exactly what he wanted to do. He was ready to go whenever I got here. I was unsure about the location. I texted him. He communicated very well with me. I didn't have any problems. As soon as I got here, he said, okay, here's the outfit. We're gonna go over here into the studio. You can change back here. Even whenever he was coming to the side of where I was gonna change, because it was behind the backdrop, he was like, wait, don't change it, which always makes you feel better as a model, because you know for sure, okay, he's not trying to, sneak a peek or anything like that. Very straightforward, professional. I highly recommend him.
Yeah, very professional, and he's pretty funny too. I'm sure you make him
Yes,
chuckle.
yes, he is. And I appreciate his appreciation for the modeling world and pointing out that, yes, I know what I'm doing, and he appreciates that. And he, there's no problem with him paying me for my time or anything like that.
Most definitely. Thank you, Miss Katie, for sharing your experience with us in the modeling business. This video is sponsored by Grubbs Nissan in Bedford, Texas. So hopefully we see you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a blast, and good luck to all the models out there, and feel free to reach out to me if anyone has any questions or concerns. I am always open to helping.